Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. So today I'm going to be doing a book haul. I haven't done a book haul on my channel for what feels like forever. Probably wasn't forever ago, probably a few weeks ago, but it doesn't matter. I had a really good excuse for buying books because I went to Cheltenham Literature Festival. This was my third year going and I absolutely loved it as always, and I can't wait for next year because I think next year we're actually going to stay in Cheltenham rather than just driving backwards and forwards. I went for 2 days and I went to 4 literary talks and I had such a wonderful time, and I bought lots of lovely books and I thought I'd share them with you guys. So the first day that I went on the Monday, which was Monday the 5th of October. The first talk that I went to was on the Mitford Sisters, and this was actually really quite good. But it did kind of presume that you knew quite a bit about the Mitford Sisters anyway, which I knew little bits. I've read quite a few of Nancy's works and I knew bits and bobs about the sisters, but I didn't know a great deal. And my friend that I went with, she knew less than me and she hadn't read any of Nancy's works, so it intrigued her to pick up the book. But I myself have already got a book on the Mitford Sisters, so all it did kind of really do for me is intrigue me to pick that up in the future. The second talk that I went to was also on the Monday, and this was on a talk on Charles II. Now there's meant to be 2 speakers. Unfortunately one was ill, so the other one was doing it by himself, and I think he felt a little bit nervous about that because I don't think he's kind of used to doing it by himself. But he was absolutely fantastic, and it was really intriguing. It was a discussion of Charles II and his kind of relationships that he had with lots of mistresses, and it was really fun and it was intriguing. And do you know what was really nice? It was nice to hear a historical topic that hasn't been done over and over and over and over again, like a lot of them have been done. And the Stuarts and Charles II is definitely something that has been overlooked, and I do want to get more into the Stuarts. Definitely looking at Charles II. I really want to look at Queen Anne actually. Queen Anne, I think she's a fascinating woman and I want to explore her further. But yeah, it's a fascinating talk, it was brilliant. And because the talk was so good, I did of course go to the signing tent and get myself a signed copy of the book. This is The King's Bed, Sex, Power and the Court of Charles II by Don Jordan, who was speaking, and Michael Walsh, who was the person that was meant to be there but he wasn't because he was ill. And I absolutely can't wait to read this. I've read the introduction of this and it sounds incredible. Honestly amazing. Like the way it's written, it's not written in a way that is kind of patronising, or if you kind of know things already, it kind of puts you on an even playing field and just talking to you as if it's a bit of a chat and a gossip really. And I can't wait to learn about his many mistresses and his lovers and what influence this had on him being a king and the decisions that he's making as a king, because obviously he's very famous for having quite a lot of mistresses and illegitimate children, but obviously his wife couldn't. So, you know, interesting, and I'm really looking forward to reading this, so this will be on my reading list very, very soon. The third talk of the day was a discussion of Alison Weir, and I love Alison Weir's work. As you all know, I've reviewed one of her books on my channel, that is The Lady in the Tower, The Fall of Anne Boleyn. Mind-blowing book, it's amazing and it's really good and yeah, fantastic. And I really like her work as a historian. I like the way that the use of primary evidence that she uses within her texts, I think is amazing. So although she might come up with this idea and you might think, oh, she has the evidence to kind of back it up. So I think she's fantastic. And the talk was on Margaret Douglas, and I felt really clever because I actually knew who Margaret Douglas was, and it appeared that not many people did. Margaret Douglas was the daughter of Margaret, the sister of Henry VIII. So Margaret Douglas was the granddaughter of Henry VII, the niece of Henry VIII, and the cousin of like Elizabeth I and Edward VI and Mary I. And other than that, I didn't know that much about her, so I'm so glad that I went to the talk. Alison is so lovely, and the way that she kind of conducts the talk, it was a bit like an interview. And the answers that she was kind of giving were very brief. They were done very precise, and they were done in such a way that she was giving you an insight into Margaret Douglas's life without giving too much away, so you had to go away and buy the book, which of course I did, and this is it. This is The Lost Tudor Princess, A Life of Margaret Douglas, Countess of Lennox, of course by Alison Weir. I got it dedicated to me, of course, and look how big it is. It's huge. I can't wait to read this. This is absolutely gorgeous. I'm so glad I got this hard copy of it. It's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, fantastic. And again, it's one that I've kind of flicked through and read little bits of already and thought, yeah, I'm gonna really enjoy this. But this, because it's a little bit bigger than the other one that I just showed you, this is one that I'm really gonna take my time over and spend, you know, weeks and weeks reading and highlighting, and yeah, love this. Now, because I knew Alison Weir was going to be there, I was really hoping that in the signing tent there was going to be a table next to the table of the Lost Tudor Princess, you know, the book on the talk. And there was, and I was like, yes! Because I went to an Alison Weir talk my very first year, and it was the very first talk that I went to. And because it's my very first one, I didn't buy the book. I have no idea why. I don't know if it's because I didn't want to spend the money on it, but I walked away from that day and I regretted it pretty much instantaneously. I was just like, oh, I should have got it. But when I saw the table, the stand of the other Alison Weir books, I was like, oh, my dreams come true. So I picked up a few. So originally I went up to her and I had 3 books. I had The Lost Tudor Princess. I also took this one up with me. This is Elizabeth of York, the first Tudor Queen. And this is the one that I went to. This is the talk that I went to on my very first year and saw for the first time. And I absolutely loved the talk, so I have no idea why I didn't get it, but I got it dedicated to me, I got it signed, and I can't wait to read this. Elizabeth of York, if you didn't know, was mother of Henry VIII. She was the wife of Henry VII, and yes, the first Tudor Queen, and I can't wait to read this. I also took up with me to the signing tent The 6 Wives of Henry VIII by Alison. I am currently rereading David Starkey's The 6th Wife of Henry VIII, and she said in the talk that this one, because this was so long ago, this was done in 1991, so it's 24 years old now, that this is, you know, it's out of date because new things have come along and she's processed new ideas. So she's kind of going back and she's kind of reworking it and she's adding new ideas in and taking old ones out and things like that. But I really wanted to have it anyway because I wanted to kind of read it for myself. I wanted to see if I could kind of guess the new ideas before she brings out the novels of the 6 Wives of Henry VIII. I think it's in the spring of next year. So I just wanted it to have it anyway. And then as I was kind of walking away from the books, I was thinking, right, I've bought enough now, I've spent enough money. I just kind of got drawn back to the table. I thought, well, this is the only one that I don't have. So I just kind of picked it up and walked back over to Alison. She must have thought I was so weird because I bought 4 books and I got 4 books dedicated all to myself. By the time I went up the second time, she didn't need to ask me for my name. She just said hello. She knew who I was and she signed it straight away. So, you know, fantastic. But this was Lancaster and York, The Wars of the Roses. I don't know why, but I never picked this up, and now I'm excited to pick this up, and I want to learn about the War of the Roses. I want to learn how this kind of came about, that we have this Tudor dynasty. So that was on Monday, and then on the Friday I just went to one talk, and it was called Beyond Suffrage, and I had Laura from Everyday Sexism, the project and the book, discussing with Anita Annard's book Sophia, and it was a really good talk. The only kind of downside of the talk was I wanted a bit more on the work of Princess Sophia. I wanted a bit more about her rather than the kind of everyday sexism thing. But I suppose because there wasn't that much discussion of it, I had to go and buy the book, which I knew I was going to do anyway. They had it in paperback and hardback available, but I love the talk that much that I did go and get the hardback, and this is it. It's Sophia, Princess Suffragette Revolutionary by Anita Annard, And oh, this woman was so nice. I walked up to the signing tent and she was just like, so tell me about your life. And we had a really nice chat and she was absolutely lovely. And inside, I only realised when I got home, is she dedicated it to me, and obviously she signed it, but she also put "Fight the Good Fight," and I think that's incredible. And I can't wait to read this, and I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be doing a review of this because I think I'm going to fall in love with this. So that was all the books that I actually got from the signing tents and things like that. But in Cheltenham, there is a massive Waterstones. It's 3 stories, and there's a Costa there as well. So of course I went looking for some books and got a coffee too and some books. So if you want to see these, just stick around. So starting actually in the sales section, I never go to the sales section in Waterstones, but I went and I actually found some stuff. The first one that I found was Birds of a Feather Shot Together, Aesop'S Fables for the Fashion Novel set. This was £3, and oh guys, I have to show you how beautiful this is. Now the only problem with this is the little battering on the corners, but inside it's perfect. But I have to show you how beautiful this is inside, and I'm thinking of getting this for gifts for people because it is absolutely stunning. Like, it's beautiful, and it's Aesop's Fables but put into a beautiful watercolour format. I mean, it's stunning, and yeah, I think this would be absolutely perfect for presents to people. And something that you may not have known about me is that I actually used to paint, and I used to paint in watercolours, so you know. Oh, beautiful. And to be honest, if I'd have seen that and it was in perfect condition, full price, I probably would have bought it anyway because it's gorgeous. Also in the sales section, I found this little book for £1. It's called It's All About Mimi, and it's just a picture book, but I thought it was absolutely hilarious. And I found this picture that I think you will all appreciate because most of you that watch my channel are probably book lovers. But look at this. It says, "Let's sit somewhere else. I've read all these." And they've got some Virginia Woolf, some H.E. Bates, and some Catherine Mansfield. How lovely is that? I thought that was fantastic. And there's lots of other kind of funny picture images inside, and that was splendid. I then went slightly mad on the British crime. So the first one that I got was the British Library Crime Classics edition of the Santa Claus Murder. This is by Mitford Sisters, and I love her writing and her works. This is about someone that gets shot on Christmas Day, and they've got to find out who has done it. And I can't wait to read this, obviously, around the Christmassy period. I also picked up the Mayfair Mystery and the Mystery of the Skeleton Key. Both are in these beautiful Collins Crime Club facsimile editions. I think they're absolutely gorgeous, a bit like the Agatha Christie ones. So the Mayfair Mystery is about a doctor who's discovered dead, and the valet discovers him, and then he goes off to get some help, and then he comes back and the body's gone. What's happened? And we've only got the valet's word to go from. So that sounded really good. And the Mystery of the Skeleton Key is basically just kind of like a normal kind of murder, you know, a shooting party, a country estate. But what was great about this one was when I go book shopping, I open up the first page and I start reading. And if I can't put it down, I know that I want it. And I couldn't put this down, so that's why I had to get it. And these are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, they're stunning. So yeah, I just had to get these, and they're only £10 each, so I was happy. So that's all the books that I got from Cheltenham. I spent a little bit of money, whoopsie daisy, but it was well worth it, and I had a smashing time. I will leave links to all the books down in the description bar below if you do want to get your hands on any. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new to my channel and you like this type of thing, or you like history videos or vintage videos, please subscribe, press that subscribe button. I hope you enjoyed it, and I shall see you soon for the next video. Take care for now. Bye.